we're ready to put our pizzas together. We made our sauce, we have our dough risen, and we got all our ingredients set up. This is called mise en place. We have the sauce, and I made a bunch of extra sauce here. I'll show you this. We have, I labeled it. It's a really good idea to label your things before you put it in the refrigerator in your freezer. If you're like me, you're getting a little older and you can't remember everything that's in a container. So this is our labeled pizza sauce for later. I mixed up our cheese. I always use a mozzarella with a little bit of parm mixed in it for the topping. And then we got our toppings. We have some olives, and we have some basil, fresh basil. I like to get these little plants, and I just chop them up for fresh basil for our pizza. We have pepperoni, some awesome pepperoni we got in the deli section of the grocery store. Excited to use that. And we have our Ultima Frontiera that I put into this little container here. Here's our package of Ultima Frontiera. And I always sprinkle that on top of the cheese. It just gives it that extra zing. And sometimes with my pizzas, we put in a little bit of fresh ricotta. And that's always nice to have. And we got our pizza dough. So I'm going to be rolling out the pizza dough now. I'm not good enough to toss the dough. I'm not that great of a pizza baker. So I have this little pizza peel that I use because I'm going to be putting this into the pizza stone. So I'll show you what the pizza peel looks like. This is what it looks like here. It's a big pizza peel. And we're going to be putting a little flour down on here. And we got a pretty big pizza stone. So I'm going to be taking half of our dough. Here's my dough that rose. It did a good job. We're going to be spreading it out. And then I'm going to take a rolling pin because it just makes it a lot easier to use the rolling pin. We're going to do a quick roll on this. Spice Mom is from the East Coast, so I like my pizza dough thin. So here is a nice thin dough. And I always like to put a little edge on it, keeps the sauce in. It's just the way I like to make pizza. Some people just do a flatbread, but I like a little edge on my pizza crust, plus it makes a nice little nibble when you're eating your pizza. So let's get started. We're going to put a little bit of sauce on here. And I just take this sauce, and I got my brush. Here we go. We got the little sauce. And we're going to shake it around. We have a little brush to brush it around. You want to put it evenly, an even nice layer of sauce all over our pizza here. It smells fantastic. Now that we have the Ultima Frontiera in both the dough and the sauce. And, you know, it's funny because I grew up in New England, and so I joke I have a delicate New England palate. I like things spicy, but I don't like them super hot. Yeah, I like a little touch of hot, but whenever I make hot stuff, I make sure it's going to hit a bunch of places in your tongue. And this is a spicy pizza dough, but not a hot pizza dough. So we got a lot of great Ultima Frontiera spice blend in here that just makes this a really nice pizza. So we got the sauce all spread around. Now we're going to put our pepperoni on here. We evenly spread out the pepperoni. And I like a nice pepperoni on a nice bit of pepperoni. So we got our pepperoni, and these pepperonis are a little bit bigger. And I'm going to do, I call it a double layer pepperoni. So we're going to put a little olives on here too because we like those. We do them underneath here. And for an extra flavor, we're going to do a little dollop of our ricotta. We got our little ricotta here. We're going to do a couple little dollops of that around the pizza. I try to keep the pieces little. I don't like big, huge pieces of ricotta on my pizza. It just kind of makes it messy when you're eating it. And, you know, I'm just looking for a little extra something on my pizza. I don't want to overload it with the ricotta. So here's what this pizza looks like right now with our pepperoni, our olives. We're going to sprinkle our first layer of cheese on here. And I like to do the pepperoni again on the top because I like the crispiness that happens when we have the extra pepperoni on there. And again, you don't have to use that much. So we got our cheese that's going on here. Here's what this looks like. Here's our cheese. So we're going to sprinkle a little bit of our garlic, our basil on here. We got a little basil. And I'm going to sprinkle a little bit more of my Ultima Frontiera on the top. And then we're gonna finish it off. Here's what this looks like now. We're gonna finish it off with a couple pieces of pepperoni. It sizzles up, it crisps up really nice when it's in the pizza oven. Our pizza oven is outside, it's heating up. And last I looked, it was about 400 degrees. I like to get up to about 450, 500 degrees. And you can have the same effect in an oven with a pizza stone. But this is how I make my pizza. So we're gonna be going into the oven next, and stay tuned. I did a good job of getting the pizza on the pizza stone. Now, I need to be honest, this is the maiden voyage of the pizza oven here. And I'm excited about it. I've had to do shelter in place down here in Arizona because this is where I got stuck when the whole COVID-19 went down, and then they closed up Alaska, and luckily this person who owned a VRBO just let me hang out here for the duration, and it's been kind of fun. A little bit hotter than what I'm used to. But here is our pizza oven that we just built yesterday, assembled really, and we're taking it for our maiden voyage here on making this pizza. Here we're looking at the pizza cooking. It's at 450 degrees in our pizza oven. I have a little pizza oven my kids gave me. I cook on my gas stove up in Alaska. It gets up to 700 pretty fast, but this one isn't, I don't know, it's my first time using it. And I'm not too impressed how quick it gets hot. It takes a long time. But 450 is good enough for pizza. It's kind of like cooking it in your oven. And we'll see how it comes out. It's kind of hard to mess up anything with Ultima Frontiera. Here's a couple of firsts for me. My first pizza in Arizona. And my first pizza out of our new pizza oven. And I'm excited about it. I got a little Arizona cutting board because I wanted to learn more about Arizona. But it's exciting to see my first Arizona pizza here with our Ultima Frontiera, and we can't wait to dig into this. It looks delicious. It came out great. Only took about 10 minutes in the pizza oven.